We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Streets are saying that Cardi B is secretly with an NBA player because she's been out at the clubs at all the Knicks after parties celebration for their championship that they won a few days ago. She has been at all the major events. She could be just like a fan of the Knicks, even though I've never really heard Cardi B talk about, basketball until now, until recently, especially after her and Stephon Diddy have seemingly broken up because he's dating Playboy Cardi's ex, Gio. Now, it has been reported that Cardi B has been attending major NBA events ever since the Knicks won the championship, which has people speculating that she could be dating an NBA player or trying to date one after her and Stephon Diddy broke up. But allegedly, the streets are saying that Off the Cheat is trying to get back with Cardi B. He sees that obviously it's not working between her and Stephon Diddy, and he wants the old thing back. Let me know if you guys would be here for Off the Cheat and Cardi B giving it a go. In my opinion, it really wouldn't matter because even if she dates somebody else, they gonna treat her the same way as Off the Cheat and Stephon Diddy have, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of men have a certain perception of Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? She's going out to the clubs at 35, 40. Not saying that, 40-year-olds or 35-year-olds can't go to the clubs. But at the end of the day, she's going to the club because she's looking for a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no other reason why she needs to be there. She don't got no new music out. Let's just be honest. She don't got no new music out. She ain't got nothing to promote. The tour is over. So you're going to the club looking for a man. And she was going by herself. Maybe Cardi B should get a girlfriend. Maybe, a woman would stay faithful to Cardi B versus a man. Now, unfortunately, Camel Face is sending his spies after Nicki Minaj and the Barbs. It has been unfortunately reported that Deseret has filed a new lawsuit against her own daughter, Demore Perez. This time, several top fan accounts linked to Nicki Minaj, Champagne Thickums, and Tory Lanez are mentioned in the case. The lawsuit comes after Nicki Minaj's 2025 Justice for Demore campaign, which was used to promote allegations against the Devil Nation CEO with support from members of her fan base. Okay, so allegedly, Deseret has been spying on the Barbs and Nicki Minaj on social media for almost a year now. And because Nicki Minaj was tweeting Justice for Demore, fans were tweeting Justice for Demore and talking about Demore Hadley's case against her mother, Deseret. Unfortunately, now Barbs will be mentioned in the lawsuit. And this is a move that Camel Face thinks is strategic because now some of these Barbs could be called to the stand. That's what their plan is. Their plan is to have some of these Barbs get called to the stand. Nicki Minaj could possibly get called to the stand. She could get questioned because they have her tweets. She can get questioned on why she was tweeting about Demore Hadley. And if Demore was giving Nicki Minaj any information, because Demore Hadley is under a gag order. So this is why they're doing it, because Demore Hadley wasn't supposed to be giving Nicki Minaj or any Barbs information. And this is what Deseret is accusing the Barbs of doing, because Nicki Minaj came after Camel Face. Okay, so now they trying to take the Barbs and Nicki Minaj down with Demore. Camel Face has already been itching to sue Nicki Minaj because he believes that she spread lies about him when she questioned his relationship with Foxy Brown and Aaliyah. So he's already been trying to see if he can take Nicki Minaj to court, similar to what Drake did with Universal. So let me know how y'all feel about it. And do you guys think that Devil Nation can possibly go after the Barbs and take them to court. Considering that they're mentioned in a lawsuit, I definitely think that's their plan. Because why would you mention them if this is between your daughter and you? Why are you mentioning the Barbs? Because she's trying to take the Barbs down. Because they're the biggest fan base on social media, and they've been dragging Camel Face by his lace front. So that is bothersome to them. You know, they don't like stuff like that because it's ruining their reputation. And like I said before, D Moore had a gag order. So they believe that D Moore is giving Barbs or Nicki Minaj information, and that is why they've been tweeting about the case. Now, moving on to Scratch Off. Scratch Off talks about, you know, preparing for a tour in her Essence magazine interview, especially since now she's in even more debt with the label. She was asked, how are you preparing to return to touring and performing? And she said, trying to eat healthy, preparing my body inside and out, getting back to the gym, hitting cardio, stretching. I got to prepare my mind too. A lot of self-care, massages, chiropractor appointments, all the things inside and out so my mind, body can be ready to hit the stage. So she's performing at Essence Festival. And with that being said, allegedly she will be touring to recoup some money that the label RCA The Colorist lost when she put out her album and only did 34,000 first week. And, you know, her fans, her 3 fans can say, oh, well, you know, that's more than what she did for previous albums, but it's still a flop. You know, just because you did 2,000 or 3,000 more than the previous flop albums, the label's still in the red when it comes to Scratch Off. If every time you sell an album, you're doing 20 to 30,000, that's not good. Okay? And she can say the label wasn't helping and blah, blah, blah. But they still put money behind the vinyls that she didn't sell. You know, they put money behind playlisting that still made people not want to listen and stream. But I will say the Doja Cat record at first, you know, I was like, the Doja Cat record, okay, wasn't my favorite, but that song low-key be hitting. The fact that y'all slept on that record is ridiculous. That song low-key be hitting. Now, Chloe is gagging Queen Bee because Resurrection by Chloe and Timberland is number 1 on the R&B and soul charts. Number 3 overall on iTunes. So congratulations to Walmart Beyonce on that. I gave my fair and honest review yesterday, so y'all can check that out. But it seems like it's getting pretty good reviews all over social media, but we know people are fickle. Okay. You know, people will gag over something on social media, but y'all got to remember to continue to buy and stream. But it feels like overall, this is making more noise than her previous projects. Okay. Even though this is a mixtape. So this is a good sign for Walmart Beyonce. I know, you know, Queen Bee, if this is a successful mixtape, I know Queen Bee is going to regret not fully backing Chloe. But like I said before, I think Walmart Beyonce eventually will try to get out of her deal with Parkland Entertainment and then sign another contract somewhere else. I can't really see Chloe going fully independent, even though, you know, she probably could because she don't sell. But I just don't see her doing that because she'll get even less of a push than she already gets. And I think she needs that Beyonce cosign, in my opinion. I think the Beyonce cosign, whether y'all want to admit it or not, has helped her get into certain rooms. And collaborations, I don't think she would have ever been able to do a full project with Timberland without the Beyonce cosign. No, I don't think so. Or have gotten a Chris Brown and Future collaboration. No, I don't. I definitely don't believe Future and Chris Brown would have given her a collaboration without the Beyonce cosign. So I think it benefits her to be attached to Beyonce, but I do think that Beyonce has probably not helped Chloe with her music career. But hopefully after this project, comes out, things will change. But allegedly, Chloe and Halle are going to get back together and drop their joint album. They working on a joint album, so that will be coming soon. So let me know how y'all feel about it. In my opinion, Chloe and Halle were stronger together than they are apart. Now, C Breezy will be receiving Donkey of the Day. C Breezy admitted in court he is currently being sued by his former housekeeper because his dog bit the housekeeper in the face. And he did not call the cops. He did not call for help because he felt like the phone call would get leaked on TMZ. Here's my thing with C Breezy. One, you stay in court. You make more noise recently for your court appearances than you do for your music. That's one. Number two, why wouldn't you call for help if somebody was injured in your home and you wonder why you're getting sued? Like, that logically don't make no sense. Okay? Now, in hindsight, I think the real reason is he didn't want to pay up. Okay? Because he knew that if he called the cops, if there's a police report, she still was going to sue. And, it wasn't going to be for no measly 20, 30,000. She's suing him for 90 million, which she's not going to get. I don't think she's going to get 90 million. But I think he should have settled with her and offered her 1 to 5 million. I think C Breezy got that. You got 1 to 5 million, or you can take out a loan for $1 to $5 million. Either way, you should have to cough up a coin because at the end of the day, it happened on your property and it's your dog. Dogs are not supposed to be biting people in the face. If that's the case, that dog, in my opinion, needs to get put down or it needs to go. Okay, no shade. At the end of the day, dogs are not supposed to be biting people in the face, especially if it's somebody that's coming over your house regularly. That dog is not trained properly. Okay, you should have called a trainer. So, C Breezy, donkey of the day, unfortunately, because this doesn't logically make any sense. And you should have settled out of court. Instead of taking this to trial, you should have settled. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the stats for Is It Love by Tyla, but Is It Love debuts with 129,000 streams. Its partial day on Spotify. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I feel like that's pretty decent. Lizzo's doing 7,000 for a partial day, so this is pretty decent. But I feel as though, I don't know, I feel like people are not supporting Tyla like they should be. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. It's not giving that y'all really supporting Tyla like you should be. I'm kind of wary that when she drops her album, it's not going to do well. I feel like people are not checking for Tyla like that. She was starting off good with the Chanel record, but then once she collaborated with the dumb blonde Zara Larsson, it went downhill. I don't know. I feel like, Zara Larsson was bad juju, in my opinion. Once she did that, she did it again, collaboration, and went downhill because Zara Larsson, I feel like she's bad juju because she's been talking about all these big name celebrities and she's a flop as well. I feel like people don't support Zara Larsson like that as well, mostly because of her big fat mouth. So I'm hoping that, Tyla, can come back from this and she doesn't completely flop. I would not want that to happen. But also it could be because low-key Tyla and Rihanna are beefing. So that could also be another reason why Tyla's flopping. But I feel like that's not fair. Okay, we gotta support Tyla. But low-key, no shade to Tyla. The song is boring. I wouldn't say trash, but is basically that. So that could be another reason why this song is not really making a lot of noise because it is boring. I wouldn't really want to listen to it. Now, Complex has named the best songs of 2026 so far, according to them. Number 1 is Drake, Janet Shut the Fuck Up. I completely agree. Number 2, Don Toliver's E85. Yes. The Baby, Pop That Thing at number 3. Yes. Jim Legacy, IDK now. Baby Keem featuring the king of rap, Good Flirts. Absolutely. Okay. Y'all don't know about that Good Flirts. ASAP Rocky featuring Brent Vias, Stay Here for Life. Yep, I agree. I like that song. Yeah, we don't talk about Clownye. Scratch Off and Glorilla, Get Out of My Face at number 9. Nope. And then Champagne Thickums, Make Them Cry at number 10. No, that's false. Make Them Cry is not one of the best songs of the year. No. They should have put Burning Bridges, or they could have put Too Hard for the Radio. That would have been a good one. But Make Them Cry, absolutely, positively not. And then Scratch Off and Doja Cat's Okay should have been on the list. Maybe it's just not top 10. But Get Out of My Face featuring Glorilla was a chop, in my opinion. Anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon on Tay Keith, Oliver Tree, Nicki, Champagne Thickums, Camel Face on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And I hope you guys have a great day.